James, welcome back. I remember I was on the docks at the Port of Charleston, South Carolina in late February of this year. And I was talking to the gentleman who runs the port, and he was saying that shipments of Christmas ornaments from the previous year were still coming off the boats. You know, really 2 to 3 to 4 months late. What do you expect to have happen this holiday season?
Hey, good morning. We are running into some of that same stuff right now, but this is a situation unlike anything that we have ever seen before with toys or with consumer products just in general. We're in the midst of a jam up that basically started last summer when all of the factories reopened following that first pandemic-related closure period. And basically, it has been a ripple effect through the entire chain, both internationally and now domestically, because this stuff, if it gets out of manufacturing and finds a container, which are very expensive right now, gets onto a vessel, they're sitting, there's sometimes up to 40 ships sitting off the West Coast by the Port of LA and Long Beach, waiting for dock space. And then we get them in here and they have to be unloaded. And there's shortages of workers and people get sick. And then it's truckers and it's rail. And what this is now leading to is regional issues. There's regional outages with toys where empty shelves in one city, but completely stocked somewhere else, because there's no way now to predict when this stuff is going to get there. And when it does get here, how it's going to make its way to all the different stores at the same time. It's almost impossible to target this.
Yeah, as we showed back in February, a lot of these containers, which used to come off a ship from Asia and then go to the interior of the United States, fill up with stuff and go back, are now being shipped back to Asia empty, because it's more profitable for them to go back in line. You've got your Hot 20 toy list coming out on September 22nd. By the way, send us a copy. I've got a young son. I want to know what's hot.
Oh, we will.
I mean, thank you. We're not trying to incite some toy panic among our viewers, but if you want, we joked, you want to get your holiday shopping done sooner than later, do you not, James?
Yeah, so we always say shop early to avoid disappointment. And I have 2 little girls myself, so I'm there with chasing things. But this year is so weird because you want to shop early, but you don't want to shop too early because some of the stuff's not even here yet. And there are things too, you know, we prepped this Hot 20. We've been looking at toys for months, but there were some things that we thought were really great that we had to nix because they're just not going to be here for the season. So hopefully the stuff that we've identified will be abundant, and we think that those products will, but there is literally no way to predict this. It's a complete dice roll because you might find it at your store today and tomorrow it might not be there, and it might not be restocked again until January. And there are some products that were on target for basically November, December delivery dates that are now January, February. So well after the holidays. Yeah. You mentioned it earlier. There's an early Hanukkah this year. It's 2 days after Black Friday that kicks off, and then Christmas is coming. So it's going to be really interesting. And of course, there are options out there. There's a lot of stuff that is available in U.S. warehouses. And we went to a trade show in Minneapolis back in August, the Astra show, which is all the independent toy stores. And the 2 big questions that everybody was asking is, what do you have in stock? And how quickly can I get it? So we actually identified more than 100 companies that do have products in stock in the U.S., fast ship, and we put together this thing called the Get List for our trade publication, which is the toy book. Yeah. And that's a free resource to connect these retailers.
But is it stuff that people want, James? I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in stock, but
Correct. There are some things out there that could be considered new old stock that is maybe discontinued, but still cool. Hot products, there are certainly some. And then, of course, this is creating this sort of renewed focus on things that are made here in the U.S. And there aren't a lot of toys not made in America, but there are some. And we're starting to see a little bit of a return towards packaging. Because these container rates are so off the charts, what's happening is some of the smaller toy makers are starting to pack those containers with goods that are not totally finished. So they're not in their retail packaging. They get them in and then they're packaging and doing final assembly here. Right now, that is not something that is scalable or sustainable, but then, you know, the light bulb's going off for some people that this is something we might want to look into, because inflation, labor, when is this going to end? Nobody knows.